Leader Shekarchi.
Excuse me. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members of the Chamber, I would ask you to vote against this amendment for no other reason because I enjoy debating every year with the whip. And we won't deprive our colleagues of the debate back and forth. But seriously, I can understand why you might want this, but what do we do when we have deflation and CPI goes down? Are we going to lower the minimum wage? And respectfully to all my colleagues here, we have probably some colleagues who want a higher minimum wage right now. And we have some colleagues who probably don't want any minimum wage increase or maybe even a lower minimum wage. But in reality, there's a process, a legislative process. It's our responsibility to make that decision. And I have to disagree with you when you say we in the General Assembly just pick a number. We don't pick a number. I was chairman of labor. I gave a lot of thought process. I listened to testimony from workers and from business owners as well. Chairman Craven does a better job than I do. He listens diligently. He listens to the reasons why we should, how much we should, and he listens to the workers and how important it is. Whether we like it or not, or whether it should be or not, it has turned into a living wage for most people. So that's why we have elected representatives. That's our job, to make a decision of what's best. And then we stand before the voters every 2 years to say, is this the right decision? And that's our responsibility. So respectfully, I understand why you might want to do this, but for all the reasons stated, as Representative Ucci said, since I've been in this body, every year we've enacted an increase in minimum wage. We've always given the business community a 6-month notice so they can prepare for it. And in this case, we're giving them 6 months and a year-and-a-half notice for the next 2 years. For those reasons alone, I ask you to vote red on the amendment from but I do support the article. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Whip Filippi.
Mr. Speaker, and thank you to the body. I won't belabor the point, and I do respect the work of the Labor Committee, and I know everyone does work hard on that. I do. I don't try and take anything away from your former work on it, Leader, or Representative Craven's work on it. I think the point that the Labor Committee listens to everyone's testimony almost proves my point, is that no one on the Labor Committee is an economist. And we can hear all the testimony we want from all these different parties, but we can't make a reasoned judgment on that testimony concluding what the rate of an increase of the cost of living is because we're not economists. I trust the economists in Washington to make that determination. And just to clarify, if there's inflation or deflation, inflation is when money gets weaker, deflation is when money gets stronger. So if there is deflation and we don't lower the minimum wage, that's going to put more money in the pockets of the workers. And if there is deflation, which I don't think we're going to have because of the Federal Reserve System, you all remember back in 2008 when there was the risk of deflation, they pumped almost $1 trillion of liquidity in the system to prevent deflation. I don't think that will happen. If it does happen, more money in the pockets of workers, and we can always come back here and decrease the minimum wage. And that would be one hell of a fight. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.